Okay, here I am again. I know, I'm getting bored of these clothes. I probably should have brought some changes so it would be more interesting. Um, but I do want to talk about this next step that we're doing, which is introducing ourselves. So you won't be wildly surprised when you figure out that's what we'll be doing. We'll be introducing ourselves. So we have some ways to do that and some information, and I'm going to kind of go through it and help you out as much as I can right here. So, of course, there's a page that is available. You're in your discussion group, and we'd like you to take some time to meet your what we call your small team and your mentor. And so, on that page, you're going to get to talk about yourself, which is kind of cool. We're hoping that you will tell us a little bit about who you are, where you come from, the things that you love or are interested in, maybe your major, what you're thinking about studying. It might also be nice to know here if are you coming to Chico State? Are you joining our group? Or are you going somewhere else? And why did you make that choice? And where are you going? And what are you excited about? So those are some things to talk about. It's really just a chance for us to kind of get to know you and get to spend a little time with you. It'd be great if you could post a picture or a video or a picture of something you love or that is somehow a representation of who you are. So that's what we're looking to have happen here. There's a couple of reasons why we're having you do it. Of course, we want to get to know you and spend some time with you and help you to think about this journey that you're going on. The other reason that we're doing this is because it helps us to get familiar with Blackboard. So you will be doing most of your work in your discussion groups, so that group that you joined. And so we want to make sure that you can learn how to navigate the discussion groups and postings with like low-stake assignments. You'll do this a lot when you get here at Chico, so it's just our way of helping you to get acclimated to the learning system management tool that we have here, which happens to be Blackboard at the CSU system. A lot of schools use a lot of different management systems, learning management systems, but this is the one that you will be using if you're going to a CSU. So part of it, of course, is just us helping you to learn how to use Blackboard Learn, and that's part of it. So you will actually be posting your introduction, and then the next day you will respond to a student's or your peers' introduction. Maybe you'll find some people that you have some things in common with. That would be super cool. So there will be your posting, and then you will respond to a student posting. So just to self-disclose and give you a little bit of a background on me, I guess I can do the same task that I'm asking you to do through a video. So I talked a little bit about myself at that first video, not very much, but I have two master's degrees. One is in English literature and the second one is in education. I've been at Chico State since 2010. Again, I teach composition, advanced composition studies for teachers, literature of the child, which is a course also for educators. I also teach science fiction. I love science fiction. I'm really interested in social justice issues. So I'm interested in the idea of how does literature actually represent problems that we actually see within our society, and then how can we transfer the ideas that we see within that material and utilize it to transfer and use that knowledge in different ways within our society. So for example, I use the Hunger Games a lot in my work, and I like to encourage students to stop thinking about them as possibly entertainment, but what are the social issues that you're finding within that material, and then how does that help us to inform or change our actions within our own world, or how do we utilize it? So I'm really interested in the ideas that fiction in a certain way can be an agent of a change for us as a society, and I love to quote an author called I use her all the time. She's really an interesting author, and she says that students like to grapple with real world issues in the safe confines of fiction. So I love this idea of grappling with really important issues in fiction. It's Melissa Ames, and it's Engaging Apolitical Adolescence, if you want to do some really scholarly reading. Anyway, so that's kind of who I sit as a scholar. I feel like I have the dream job here at Chico. I live in Chico. I've been in Chico since 2005. I actually went to high school in Paradise, where you heard the campfire was last year. If you're not from the area, it was all over the news, so I'm sure you heard about it. So I grew up in that little town up there, and it's been an interesting time for our community. It's been a time of struggle, but it's also been a time of growth and change. So I moved to Southern California when I got my bachelor's degree in Chico many moons ago. It was the 90s. And I moved back to Southern California, where I grew up when I was a little kid. And I worked in the music industry for 15 years. So I worked at that big round building called Capitol Records. And it was super interesting and fun. And I have lots of stories to tell about that, which are probably inappropriate here, so we won't talk about them. But anyway, it was a really interesting time in my life, and then went back into education, and I've never looked back. This is truly my dream job. I guess I could tell you that I have a little dog. His real name is Rockefeller Oberon Candelaria, so that's kind of long. And no, his nickname's not Rocky. I call him Mudgy. So, Mudja Pudja might show up somewhere in here eventually. Maybe I'll post a picture of him. And he's a Shih Tzu, and he's 4 years old. He'll be 4 on August 2nd. And my birthday is July 26th, so we're kind of both babies at the same time. Anyway, I guess that's enough to tell about me, and you're welcome to ask me any questions. Looking forward to getting to know you, which is way more important. So post those introductions, and try to add a picture for us, and then don't forget the next day you're going to respond to your peers' posts. Okay, talk to you later. Have a good day.